The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the webinar this morning. I just want to check before we get into things that you can hear me really well. I'm coming across clear and you can see the screen. I'm about to flick the screen, but for now that you can hear me, if you could just comment in the chat box and then we can get straight into it. Alrighty, that being said, while you're doing that in the chat box, I would also like to take a moment for each and every one of you to put your phone on silence and flick it the other way so you don't actually see the notifications even if they come through while they're on silence, and also just to close any emails, social media platforms that you actually might have open on your screen, because I don't want any distractions, and I really want each and every one of you that's on the webinar to be actually present to what I'm talking and really thinking in your space as well while I'm talking, rather than getting distracted. That being said, welcome. There's a few of you still coming on the call, so good morning once again. My name is Samantha Jansen from Platform for Success, and this morning I'm talking to you about how to make $10,000 in sales in less than 4 months. So I'm going to take you through what worked, what didn't, and all the intricate parts, and share with you how it all came together for me as a business owner nearly 4 years on. So when I first started, I had actually quit a corporate job, a really well paid corporate job that I was in a management position in the city, and I threw the towel in and said, well, I'm going to go become a business owner. So that being said, welcome again. And I'm assuming you can see the screen now coming through to you about your success to $10,000 in sales in less than 4 months. So just going through the slides as we begin. Who am I and why you should be listening and what you can take out of this? So as I said, been in business, this is my 4th year, and things really started to transform around the 18-month mark, where I was seeing that shift happening. I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I'm about to show you all of that and actually give you the formula. So you need to be on the call for the entire hour, because right at the last point is when I'm actually going to give you the formula of how it all works. So a bit about me. So I work in the marketing space on Facebook and Google Ads. That's what I specialize in. And I sit with businesses one-to-one and also do a lot of workshops and guest speak all across Melbourne. Been featured within the city of Casey, and also been nominated last year for Motivating Mums as a nominee. Been featured in some publications through Motivating Mum. I've co-authored a book last year on healthy minds, so really looking at your mindset as a business owner. I've got my own book coming out this year, which is happening in October, November. I'm not releasing the title just yet. Obviously, there's a few legal things that I need to sign off on before I can make that public and give you an image of what the book is all about. It is actually, for those of you that are a little bit curious, like I normally am, it is covering how to run a business successfully from home, but I am covering a lot of marketing strategies that work when you run a business from home, or you're in that startup phase and you really want to hit 100,000 or take that business from 100,000 onto that next stage. So I'm all about working in that space from startup to about 150, 200K annual turnover, and then you're ready to go on to somebody else that is going to take you through that 500K to $1 million turnover. I've also got a community happening on Facebook called the Business Talk Show. There's a few newbies on this webinar, so I'm not sure whether, I've actually not checked whether you're on this group, but if you're not, you just need to look up on Facebook the Business Talk Show, and we've got team days happening, and the community is really building. There's about just over 300 business owners on the group. That being said, I'm a mum of 2 young little ones. They're in the little picture here. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go into all the intricate parts about, everything that's happening, but essentially I want you to get a sense of feeling of where I've come from, what I've done, because I'm going to take you through that process now. So what am I going to be covering during this call? I'm going to tell you about what it takes to build a business successfully from home. Now, if you are not running your business directly from home and you've rented out a small space to get things happening, that's fine too. These will apply because they're not just spot on. You exactly the formula for a home business. You can implement these if you've got a small space, and this works really well for people in the service-based industry. So the formula is going to really work well for the service-based industry. But if you are selling products and you are on the call, I will show you. I'll mention it and I'll show you how you can tweak it just a little bit. So the truth about what it takes to build a business successfully. Learn what worked and what didn't. So there was, as I mentioned before, when I first started, I said there was a lot of things that I invested money in, it didn't work. So I don't want you to go through the same thing, because if somebody, can give you, it's not a get rich quick system, it's about being strategic. So I'm going to share with you what worked and what didn't. The strategy I used to grow my business and my profile, meaning my online profile and my presence, because I'm going to cover that. Your online presence plays a big part in your business growth. So really being conscious to that. Okay, and then learn how you can leverage, because if you want to make those kinds of sales, the high-end sales where you're having a bigger turnover every single month and it continues consistently, you need to be looking at how you can leverage, double and triple your income within months, because the whole point of this webinar is to give you inside information. Okay, so really being conscious about that. And then the 10K system. So I will cover, as I said before, how you actually plan the 10K system, okay? And then I'm going to stay on the call live to answer your questions, because I'm not one of those people that will just do it and go, okay, see you later, I'm out of here. No, if it means that I need to be on the call for about 15, 20 minutes after that, I've scheduled enough time to stay on the call and answer your questions, okay? Now, if you've got any questions, I love to keep these sessions interactive, so please comment, ask your questions. If I don't respond to them straight away, don't freak out. I will get to them and I will definitely answer each and every one of them. Okay, so moving along, a successful home business, the truth. Now, in the little image, that's what my home office looks like for each and every one of you that's curious, going, oh, I wonder what her office looks like. Is it something over the top? Is it flashy? What's it like? Well, that's it there. So when I first started, as I mentioned before, I was in corporate. I went on maternity leave to have my second child, and while I was on maternity leave is when everything started, and I basically decided if I'm going to run the business, I need to actually have a system going. So I ended up actually selling all the furniture in my former living, because it was only used 3 times a year for the 2 Christmas and kids, the child's birth, and then obviously if I had another formal party happening. 3 times a year, this beautiful furniture that sat there, and it just looked pretty. It was a lot of dusting and cleaning. And it just sat there. And I thought, well, I've got this space right in front. As soon as you open my front door, I'm going to convert it into an office. So that's exactly what I did. I sold the furniture and I replaced it with office furniture. So again, nothing over the top, nothing extravagant, some basic things to get the momentum going. And I've had that office for the last 3 and a bit years. Now, something that I do want you to take a bit of note of is it is a space that I can sit and work with, nothing else around it. So what I sort of want you to think about is, as I'm going through this webinar, is about respecting your home business, or respecting and treating it like a real business, wherever that might be. If you've rented a space, a little retail space, a little shop, give it everything. I'm not saying invest a lot of money, but I'm saying do what needs to be done to make it effective and appealing to yourself, but also if you're bringing in clients. So when I first started, I actually had people coming to my house and they would sit across on this other side of me and we would chat, and there was a table where they could map out and do all their stuff. So I had a clear space to work in. And now moving along the slide, we're talking about boundaries. So what are your work hours? To grow a business successfully, there needs to be boundaries. There needs to be an attitude about, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take action. A schedule. It's really important that each and every one of you organize yourself and you have a schedule and you stick to it. Now put a percentage in there. I stick to my schedule 98% of the time. There are days where things just don't work, and if there's any parents on the call, understand that it can be a little bit hard if you've got a young family. So I'm talking about children under the age of 10, 12. It can, those moments where they might be sick and all that sort of thing might kick in, and it can be a little bit tricky. So the key is just stick to a schedule at least 98% of the time. Okay, juggling only sometimes. Now, I think it was about 2 weeks ago that if you have been on my list and been a part of my community, I sent out an email talking about juggling and hustling. You can juggle and hustle, and we all do that, been there, done that, but it's not a sustainable way to go about it. There's only so much juggling and hustling you can do, because if you overdo it, you're going to burn out, and that's just the fact. Because I've been there, done that, but I was quick to turn it around and gone, okay, this needs structure, this needs to be done, I need to outsource this, I need to plan this, I need to schedule this. So really being structured, I suppose, is the best way to put it. Whether you have a home office or a retail space, you have to be structured. And I don't actually use the word balance in my life. Now, that was a bit of a dilemma when I first started, because I had a newborn and a 3-year-old when I first started in business. And I wanted balance. I was like, well, I've got to do this and I've got to do this. I need balance. But fast forward time, and I don't actually think there's the word balance exists. It needs to be the word flow. I flow from being a woman in business to being a mom, to then being a daughter, to being a partner, that sort of thing. So it's not about I've got 50% time in the business, 50% time in the family. It doesn't work that way realistically. If you look at a monthly schedule, it's probably not going to work that way. So you really need to be open and honest about your life, your business, and then structure it according to what's going to work for you, rather than looking for, oh, okay, well, I'm going to give balance, I'm going to give my partner 50% of my time and this and this. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so really looking at that. And just quickly touching on boundaries, having strict work hours and family time. Now, I, on a principle, don't work a Monday. Monday is the day that I actually spend time with my 3-year-old that's home with me, and I do mommy stuff and day-to-day household stuff. So that's a strict time. I think I've probably broken that rule maybe once or twice in probably about an 18-month period, where I actually attended a course because I really wanted to see this speaker present. So I was like, okay, well, I've got to find somebody to mind my child and go on. But the strict boundaries around that. So I really want you to think about that, okay? And with your work hours, if you're in that startup phase, every client you're probably going, yep, I want to take them on, I want to take them on. Great. But you need to ask yourself, are they my ideal client? Because you might end up taking on a client that really sucks the life out of you, and you don't want that. Again, I have been there, done that. And, yeah, you've got the money coming in, but you're paying for it 10 times over because you're drained out, you're exhausted, and you're probably frustrated as well. So it doesn't quite work in the long term in trying to build a successful business. So really setting some boundaries, a time frame. So I personally, in my business, I work Tuesday to Friday and some Sundays, because I actually run workshops on Sundays, and I might go to events on Sundays and Saturdays. So an ideal week is 4 days for me, with that odd Saturday or Sunday that I might work, but I definitely don't work a Monday. Okay, so I've got strict boundaries and I stick to it. And then family time, really scheduling in, little weekend getaways, maybe day trips, whatever it is, really investing that time into your family, whether that's with your wife, maybe you have grown children, whatever it is, just really looking at that family time as well. Okay. What works, what doesn't, save time and money. Now, this is a bit of a biggie, because a lot of people in that startup phase, especially if you're in the 0 to 50 turnover space, it's, oh, I've just got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. Unfortunately, again, being there guilty, I've been there, done that. And it works a little bit, but it doesn't work on the long term. Now, if you're on the 50 to a 150 space annual turnover, you probably have learned a few things of what works, what doesn't, but it's all about these 5 points. Okay, so what works is you need to be strategic with your networking. If you're not networking already, I suggest you get out there and network at least twice a week. Okay, at a bare minimum, especially if you're in that startup phase. So if your annual turnover is less than 50K, get out there and network. Build relationships face to face rather than just trying to drive your business online, because it doesn't work that way. Okay, be specific. What are you offering? What do you want to gain out of it? What are the time frames involved? Are you getting a return on investment? Okay, build trust. Can people trust you? Can your ideal client relate to you? These all need to be considered when you are doing networking, when you're posting on social media, your online marketing, if you're running Facebook ads, if you're considering doing Google ads, or you might be doing Google ads, really thinking about all of this. What's the trust factor? What's the credibility? And then if you're giving some if you're running ads to generate leads, meaning you have created a product that could be a lead magnet, meaning something like a video series, downloadable ebooks, a little mini program, whatever it is, again, you need to be strategic, okay? So I want each and every one of you to think about what is it that you're doing that is going to bring you one step closer to that next result. You are just not randomly posting things on Facebook. You are not just going to networking events because somebody told you on a webinar to get to a networking event. Okay, so it doesn't work that way. Now, listen and add value. One thing a lot of startups, especially in that first year in business, where they go wrong is when they get to either a networking event or they're trying to post something on social media, they go into a sales pitch. Big mistake. Whether you've invested $30 or $40 to go to a networking event, or you've added about $50 to a Facebook campaign, stop trying to sell. Okay, as much as you can do direct marketing on Facebook, you need to be really thinking about how is it that you can add value. Okay, what is it that you can give? The whole paid forward attitude needs to come into place. So you need to listen and add value. So if you're at a networking event, I want you to actually, in my words, just shut up and listen. Listen to what your ideal client might be saying, what their frustrations are, what is going on in their head. Because only once you've fully understood what's wrong with them that you can actually say to them, oh, actually, I know somebody that can help you with this. Or maybe we should have a chat. I might be able to give you some ideas on how you can better manage this project. Depending on if you're somebody that structures business processes, then okay, I can help you. So listening and then adding value. Okay, so the last thing you should be focusing on is selling when somebody's speaking to you, because then in your head you're going, oh, I wonder whether they'll buy this program of mine. Oh, I think they might, yeah, this might be a good program for them. I'll just pitch that to them. And while you're thinking this, you have not heard any of their frustrations that they've been just yapping on about. Okay, so really listen. The next one is make it easy for clients to order, buy, or download. Okay, if you are selling things online, it needs to be plain and simple. In today's society, each and every one of us are super busy. We do not have time to be floating around looking for things and looking for links and click these. Oh, too much work, too much brain power. Make it easy. For an example, you say click here to buy and you'll insert what they're buying. So insert the name, or click here to download your free ebook. So if you're giving them an ebook, tell them what to do. People like to be told what to do. You know, as much as I'm a marketer and all of that, and I have all this understanding, when I'm shopping online, for example, I might be on a particular site looking to buy, let's say, I don't know, some household items. I want to be able to just click and go, it adds to the shopping cart and buy. Now, if it's giving me all these things where I need to click here and then drop this down, and too hard, way too hard, because I'm busy. I've got to go, go, go. I don't have, 5-10 minutes to be floating around to figure this out. So really make it plain and simple. If you are wanting people to click on to register, like for example, when I was running this webinar, on the webinar post, there was 2 points that you could have clicked to register. So really, again, the top point, be strategic. When you're posting something on Facebook, or whether that's on Instagram, LinkedIn, be strategic. Make it easy, make it sharp, make it punchy, okay? Because time is money. So really think about how you are positioning yourself effectively to get that happening. Now, the strategy. So I promised you the strategy. This is a strategy and how I build my business from the ground up. But before I go through these little boxes that I've outlined like in a bit of a flowchart system, I want you to focus on the right-hand side of your screen. where I've got a picture of Google, the Google search engine, and I've typed in the word platform for success, which is my business name. And I want you to just pay attention to this because this is a big turning point that happened probably about around the 18 month to about 24, so about 1.5 years to 2 years in, where this was really evolving and really giving me credibility. Okay, so if you've just started up, don't panic. It takes time. But if you have been in business any more than 12 months, I would really suggest that you really look at this in a big way because this will determine your credibility and trust. So for example, if you typed in platform for success into Google, don't do it now, but you can suss me out later. Um, I come up, obviously my website comes up first, which is what you can see. The next one is my Facebook page. The next one is where I actually have a directory through the city of Casey. Like I've been featured through the city of Casey a few times on their promotional material and all that stuff. But this is more a listing on the Casey Cardinia directory, so I come up there. The next one is when I have events, I sell tickets through Sticky Tickets. So that's my Sticky Tickets profile coming up there. Then you've got my LinkedIn, and then just towards the end, you've got videos that I've posted on YouTube. If you are not on YouTube, I suggest you get onto YouTube ASAP. Like it's pretty important. Video is the new direction of marketing. So if you're not into videos and not doing videos at least once a month, you are actually leaving one, money on the table, two, you're not engaging on the right platform with regards to your business because people are finding it a lot easier to listen to a video than read through a post. That's where marketing's going and you need to jump on that bandwagon pretty quickly. Okay, so what I want you to see is the video that's coming up. As you can see, it shows you the actual date. So one says 8th of December 2015, and then there's a video that comes up from 2014. So, you know, I am practicing what I preach. You can see I've got a YouTube channel. I think it has about maybe about 30, maybe a little bit more under Platform for Success. And then I've got my own Samantha Jansen channel as well, which some overlap, some don't. So overall, I think there's about 40 videos that I've recorded, over time that is on YouTube. So it's really important, no matter what your business is. Now, I know a few of you on the call, but for the newbies, if you're a service-based business, really important that you're on it. If you're selling products, you don't necessarily need to be thinking, oh, okay, what am I going to say on the webinar or on the video. On the video, you could give them a little bit of a snippet of what your store might look like, or you can pick one or two products and talk about the unique difference between these products for people that might be comparing. So if you're selling, I think there's somebody that sells kids designer shoes, I think, on the call, if I'm not mistaken. With you might pick up two pairs of shoes and go, so this would benefit this, this, and this, and this would benefit this, and then give them a catchy headline to remember. And you make sure that you use your business name on the title of the video and post it on there. If you do notice on both videos, it has the word Samantha Jansen and Platform for Success, Samantha Jansen and Platform for Success. So again, I'm being strategic because when people are looking, they might not necessarily be looking for a topic. They might just go in and go, oh, Samantha talks about marketing stuff. I'll just look her up on Google and see whether I can find a video. And of course you can, because I have put the word Samantha Jansen and Platform for Success on every single video. Okay, so that's a little bit of off the topic, but it is relatable in terms of what we're going to cover. Okay, so getting onto YouTube, get that happening, and it takes probably about 10-15 minutes to get your YouTube account up and running and sorted, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free. It just takes your time to upload them. Okay, so with the exact strategy, now I have put in the top 3 that have been working really, really well for me. Now, there's so many others. When it comes to actually driving business, there's probably over 25 different ways and platforms that you can drive business in terms of a marketing perspective. But I've given you my top 3 because I always teach people what I have done, because then I can give you stats, I can give you proof. I'm walking the talk. Essentially, that's what I want you to understand where I'm coming from. So I've given you networking, I've given you online. I specialize in Facebook ads and Google ads, so I've covered the online talking about that, and fly drop. I have done a few of it, but I've got a lot of clients that have done the fly drops and have been really, really successful. But it's not one of those things, again, that you can do the fly drop and then go, okay, cool, I've done this area, cool, I'm done. Oh, no, no, you need to do it every month or every 2 months or every 3 months over a period of time. So you need to commit and do it. Okay, so working from the top, I've got networking. Now, when I'm at a networking event, as I said before, I'm strategic. So I might engage with 1 or 2 people, build relationships, and then through one way or the other, I will get not so much find a way, but I've got a plan in place that I will tell them, oh, I'm running a webinar, jump on the webinar. So I capture leads, okay? Or they might come along to one of my workshops, I've captured leads, okay? Or I might say, oh, check this out, I'm giving this free ebook out, download it now. So I'm capturing leads. So from networking, they're either going onto a landing page, onto a website, and I've captured their leads. And then I will add value. So it might be that I'm giving them an ebook, maybe it might be a free trial of some sort, it might be a free e-course, or I might just say I'm going to give you 30 minutes of my time to get on the phone and give you one marketing strategy. Okay, and then now in the value sector, because I've given them so much value, so I've given them a free download or a little course, then I might get on the phone with them. So I've given them value. And while this process is happening, I'm also nurturing them through email marketing, which happens every single week to my target audience. Okay, so they are getting emails from me every single week, either on a Monday or a Tuesday. You will have an inbox, a message from me every single week, no matter what the weather is, no matter what's going on in my life, where I might be in Melbourne, you get that email. Because that's a part of me nurturing my community and adding value to your business, okay? So from there, once I'm on the phone with them or after the free trial has finished or whatever it is, then I will pitch the sale, okay? So end result, perfect client. I mean, perfect result, meaning paying client, okay? So it comes together from that angle. Now, from an online space, going through that one, I might say, okay, the end result is I want 10 people at my workshop happening next month. So I will run a Facebook ad campaign. So from the campaign is on Facebook, through Facebook ads. They will go to a website, where either it might be my website or a landing page. I will capture their details, give them some value, and then ask them to buy a ticket to attend the event. So again, they convert into a paying customer because they're coming to my workshop. So that's that one. Now from online, there's the other option depending on where you are in your business. And if you're selling products, you might run Facebook ads or Google ads where you are selling a product directly. So they will go directly onto a website that is having maybe fruit and veg. It might be selling flowers. It might be selling gym product, gym equipment. It might be selling anything. This is not just, as I said, it's not just limited to a service-based business, but you could be selling shoes on there. You could be selling clothes on there. So the ad it could be a single post with a click here to view the rest of the shopping cart, whatever it might be, or it might be directly click here to buy these black shoes, okay, or these amazing Nike runners or whatever you are selling. So from an online Facebook ads, they go onto the website and they're directly buying. Now at this point, they're landing on a page. So if the ad is a pair of black Nike runners, they need to land on a website page that is actually showing them the black Nike runners that they saw. So that it is, one, it's consistent to the ad to what they saw, and two, that means that you have a high chance of converting them to buying, because that's the reason they clicked on the ad is because they saw the Nike shoes, not because they saw green Nikes as opposed to the black ones that they were engaging with. So the website needs to have the black Nike shoes that they originally saw. Then you might have other variations and a few other different options for them. Maybe there might be some add-ons where they can buy some socks with it, whatever it might be. You're buying directly, and then end result is a paying client. Okay, again, it needs to be simple. See how this whole strategy is, there's a starting point. How are you going to attract them? What platform? What do they need to do? And then they buy. So it's a plain 3 to 4 step process to have that end paying client. And that's all that I want you to really focus on. Okay. In between, there's a lot of work that you need to do. But once you've done that work and automated it, the system flows consistently. Okay. Then the last one that I'm talking about on that one is your flyer drop, so direct marketing. If you're going to go down that path of doing printing flyers, again, be strategic. Please do not put it on crappy A4 paper and fold it up and drop it off in a letterbox and then say, oh, it didn't work. Of course it's not going to work, because we're sick of receiving crap through, just cheap paper with nothing of value, nothing engaging, no sharp, punchy images, no catchy headlines. We don't want that. When I open my mail, whether it's junk mail or whatever it is, I want to see something of value, something interesting, something that's going to get my attention. So if you are going to go down that path, my suggestion to you is, one, good quality paper. Use colors that are going to grab their attention. Now, if your business is with blues and greens, then use bright blue, glossy paper, green, whatever. If it is red, then use red. If your business is just words on a plain background where you normally have like a transparent logo with words, then think about the color of the words and do it the other way around so that the piece of paper actually gets their attention. Now, if you have a little bit more money to invest and you want to go down the path where you're going, no, I'm not just going to do a flyer, I'm going to do it sort of more like a letter and put it in an envelope, please don't use a white envelope. Go down a bright colored envelope, like an orange envelope, a green envelope, a blue envelope. Yes, a little bit more money, but there's a high chance that while you're looking through your normal mail, the bills that we get from electricity companies, phone companies, they're all white. So if there's a red envelope or an orange envelope or a green envelope, I'm going to be intrigued. Me being a marketer, I'll be like, oh, what's this? Cool, I'll just check it out. It might not be what I'm looking for, but the fact that I've opened it means you have got my attention to some degree. So that first conversion point has happened. Now it comes down to what you've written in there. So your content, your offer, your headline, all that. That's a whole other ball game that I look at when I run workshops. But essentially, I want you to think about the bigger picture here, okay? So from the flyer drop, you tell them, again, you're giving them instructions. You are telling them, click here to visit our website and secure your free session, or book your free phone call here, or jump on the website to claim your $30 voucher to come and dine at whatever the restaurant is. Because I think one of you that is on the call might actually own a cafe. I think so. I'm not quite sure, but I'll soon find that out. So if that is what it is, it might be a free coffee and muffin or a free muffin, whatever it might be, really being strategic and tell them exactly what they need to do. Now, on the direct response marketing platform, when you're doing that, you always need to find a way to capture their leads. I don't want you to send a letter out and not be able to capture their leads. And that's why it's really important that when they visit their website, that either your website is capturing leads like with a little pop-up screen, or you've given them a clear call to action. Another thing I'll quickly mention in here is, if you are considering using Facebook as a marketing tool, you can embed a code. It's a piece of code through Facebook that piece of HTML code that you take and you actually put it into your website. So Facebook is attached to your website. So when somebody lands on that particular landing page on your website, you can retarget them on Facebook. I talk about that in one of my workshops that's coming up next month. But as I said, Facebook, all those intricates I'm not going to go into here on this webinar, because then it's going to lose the whole process of what we're trying to achieve. But essentially, that's another way of you really getting them over and over again, engaging on your website and potentially converting them into a client. So from the website, it might be a direct buy or capturing leads, and they go on to being a paying customer. Now, that is the strategy you need to follow. Each and every one of you will get the recording, because this session is being recorded. So I will send this to you. So if you don't get a chance to take a shot of this screen, don't worry about it too much. I want you to be really thinking about what it is that you need to be doing to get this happening so you can really achieve those end results, okay? My hot tips: leave your excuses and drama behind, because every week I meet probably well over 10 or 12 business owners, okay? Depending whether I'm networking or I'm somewhere out and about, I get talking. Sometimes it might be the cafe that I'm just grabbing a hot chocolate from. And then things just, I hear frustrations. And a lot of people come up with, oh, you don't understand, this is not working, and I've got this happening. I get that. We are all busy. We've all got stuff happening. But as a business owner, you need to be able to flow from one drama to no drama. sort of thing. Okay, so leave your excuses and dramas behind. If something doesn't work, let's say you run Facebook ads and it doesn't work, that does not mean that you failed. That means that you need to look at what did you learn from that campaign not working. Okay, so really looking at that, and you try again. You will never fail as long as you're trying. You are learning. So I don't use the word, oh, I failed at that. Oh, I learned from that. That taught me this, this, and this. That's cool. I'll try it again and I'll tweak that, that, and that. So I'm learning. I'm not failing. Okay, so really looking at that, and feeding that right information into your mindset, because that is very powerful and which will determine how you look at what's happening in terms of your business structure and your marketing over a 3 to 6 month period. Last but not least, your attitude. Your attitude to business, how you wake up in the morning and what you think of what you're going to smash out and get done will determine your success. So really, really be strategic and feed yourself the right information, because your attitude has a massive impact on what you can achieve. Now, that being said, so I've covered a bit of the mindset, I've covered the strategy. Now it's about doubling and tripling your income. Okay, we are getting closer. The next slide is the 10K system. So bear with me if you're a little bit on edge. Just bear with me. Okay. So leveraging to double and triple your income. First things first, you need a budget. Okay, because to double your income, you need to invest. Okay, you can't just go, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go to this networking event and I'm going to have all these people buying and I'm just going to give them, well, jack the prices up. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so you need to have a 6 or 12-month budget, and then you need to break it down into quarters. So a 3-month budget, a 6-month, a 9-month, and a 12-month. So you know exactly how much you're spending. So depending, I think going back and looking at my books, when I first started, I only had about $100 for every month, because I had left my corporate job. I got a payout, great, because I'd been with the company 9 years. But I had spent a lot of money on my coach, which was a big chunk of that payout I had invested on him, and that was an upfront fee that I had to pay. So I had, money in the bank, but I also had a household to run and all these other things that could potentially come up when you have young children in the household. So my budget was very little, and if with the $100 marketing budget, if I could have grown that little by little by little by little to what it is today, you can most definitely do it too. Okay, so it was some months it was about $80, some months 100, maybe a little bit more, but essentially in a 3-month period I had $300. That's a long story short. So really there shouldn't be too many excuses coming up from from your side. Then now with your numbers, I have just broken that down. There's networking costs. There might be flyers where you need to pay for printing and design. Now, if you want a cost-effective way of designing flyers, you might want to write these two down. There's Canva, canva.com, which is absolutely free to use, which is awesome. A lot of my Facebook posts are from Canva. No, I do not pay high-end designers. Hopefully, there's no graphic designers on this call. Now, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oops. Yeah, so I use Canva. And the other thing is, if you want a quick turnaround, you can use a website called Fiverr. So it's an American site where you've got people all around the world doing work for you. So there'll be graphic artists, there'll be people that edit videos for you, people that can do proofreading for you. You name it, they do it on Fiverr, and it's all for $5 US. Now, depending on what you need to do, obviously there's add-ons, but generally I've never paid more than 15 or 25 Australian dollars to get something done for me. So it's pretty quick. Yeah, quick turnaround, pretty good quality. Obviously, you can't compare a $25 design to somebody that might charge you $300, but it gets the job better than me trying to design, because I've got no design skills when it comes to designing flyers. So really thinking about that. Okay, then so with your numbers, obviously Google ads and Facebook ads, and outsourcing. So you might have a bookkeeper that looks after your books and gives you an update on how you're tracking with your numbers. You might outsource some of your admin stuff. So your newsletters, or even some people outsource their Facebook ads and Google ads to individuals to do that. So really looking at what outsourcing costs you might have. And then depending on, again, your business structure, you might either have a venue cost or rent that you have to outlay with the deposit, there might be insurance, and if you're running events, it's venue cost and catering. So just quickly knowing your budget, because your numbers will determine what you can invest in 3, 6, and 12 months. Okay. Now that's the numbers covered. The next one is a structured marketing plan. So let me just quickly go back to the screen here. This strategy, you need to have it structured, written down, put it up on the wall, have it as your screensaver, whatever it is that you need to do that works for you, have it mapped out. So I'm going to go to 8 networking events this month. From there, I want to get 25 people clicking on my website and capturing their details. And from there, I'm going to get 10 people on the phone and I'm going to convert 5 to X, Y, and Z program or package, or they're going to be buying this, whatever it is. Okay. So a strategic marketing plan. It's not, I don't want things in your head will remain things in your head. That's just what it comes down to. Okay. So really think about it. Now, this is where this next point, a high-end program or a product, is where the whole 10K system comes into play. Each and every one of you need to think about, do you have a high-end program or a product? Now, if you are in the service-based industry, you might be in the fitness industry, you might be a coach, a consultant, a mentor, a specialist in a specific area where you sit with clients one-on-one or in little groups. If that is your business, this is vital. Okay, this will really determine how you can take your business from where it is to that next stage. So you need a high-end program, and when I'm talking about a high-end program, it needs to be $500 plus. Okay, if you have just got started and you're not there yet, I will go through a few things later on, but for now, I want you to think, are you having something that is $500 plus? Okay, just keep that at the back of your mind or write it down, $500 plus. If you're selling a product and your product is under $100, for those of you that are on the call that are selling products, you need to learn to package them. So if you've got a product, let's say that is $50, and you've got another product for $20 and another product for, I don't know, $40, you need to package it up into a $120 package rather than try and sell it individually. Package it up, add some value, and then you move the margin up a little bit. Okay, so one, you're moving stock a lot quickly, and this process is going to work a lot quicker. Now, I don't know whether there's any network marketers on this call. If there is, this process works differently. Okay, so you'll need to comment and chat to me later on because the process works differently on that spectrum. So high-end product or a program, and then you need to structure a system and you must follow it through. Okay, so you need to have, okay, when let's say this person contacts me or they opt in, I'm going to send them this email. From this email, they're going to get this email. Then I'm going to pick up the phone and ask them how they're going and see whether I can add more value. And then they might be ready to buy into my high-end program. Okay, so again, if you're a coach, a consultant, in the fitness industry, providing some sort of service, that sort of thing, this needs to happen. Yes, most definitely, and that will determine your overall income and sales really going through the roof. Okay, so marketing and an overall business system with follow-up emails, automated phone answering service. So depending on if you actually have a rental, but you're renting out a space and you're not going to be there all the time, maybe you want to consider getting a 1-300 number where they'll pick up the phone on your behalf, mention your business name, take a message and send you an email so you're not losing any leads that could potentially be coming through. If you've got your mobile on your website, then you need to be making sure that you've got a really good voicemail rather than saying, hey, it's so-and-so, just saying, hi, it's so-and-so, thank you for calling me. If it is regarding this, please leave your name and number and I will get back to you in the next 24 hours. So really thinking about strategically again, not turning people off if they are calling you and your voicemail is just something funny because that's what you've had all this time on your phone when family and friends call you. So, that little bit of, not too professional, but what I'm saying is just make it where people can relate to you from a business perspective, okay? And then the client retainers, the value factor. Why must your clients keep buying from you? Now, this is where, unfortunately, I see a lot of people crumble and burn. Okay, just bear with me. I'm just going to take a sip of water. With your client retainers, you need to have people paying you at least for a minimum of 3 to 6 months. Okay, The one-offs are great. Okay, depending on how much they build rapport with you, they're probably going to buy again and again. But ideally, for you to grow a business successfully, you need to have some sort of client retainer built in where they are on a direct debit system, or they have filled in some sort of contract with you that you know that you're going to have them for 3 or 6 months, at a minimum 3 months, and a maximum I would say is 12 months. When I've worked with all of my coaches, I was with them for 12 months. So I've had breaks in between. The longest I went was probably for about 4 months, and that was actually really good because I realized how much I needed to have that person of that next stage that can really pull me out when I'm stuck in a rut and help me. And they've I've had 2 coaches and I've gone back to one a few times for different periods of time in blocks. But it's really important to have that person helping you and really holding you accountable and guiding you through that. And that's why I find with a lot of startups, they just want to go to a quick 1-day course and, oh yeah, I'm sorted. I don't need support. I'll be right. I'll just follow what you said in your work. It works, but it doesn't work to, for that overall outcome. Having that person, investing in a coach or a mentor will really transform you as a person, but also your business, depending on what you're after. Okay. So with the client retainers, you need to be, as much as you need to be investing for your business, you need to be doing the same for your client. So 3 months or 12 months, in between programs, and really looking at what is it that you're giving them. It's not just, oh, you have free access to my workshops, or you can call me. What are the other factors that you're giving them? So it might be a series of videos. It might be that you're giving them an educational system where, depending on what your business is like, I, I think we have an accountant, if I'm not mistaken, on the call. With an accountant, you'd be obviously checking in that say, I do this for you every month and I'll give you the report and an update. I will track this and you'll get this. So all this value as a business owner, you'd be like, oh, well, I've got peace of mind because at any given time, she sends me a 30-day report so I can see how every month I'm tracking where I'm falling short, what I need to do to step up. So that value factor needs to be there because that will determine whether the clients stay with you on the long term or not. Okay, so really, really being strategic about that. That being said, are you ready for the 10K system? It is a very simple system. Okay, it took me probably to be very honest with you, probably implemented this. I would say about just before it hit the 2-year mark, because I was selling a lot of my time, which was good because I love that face-to-face relationship. But also, there's only so much of me. There's only so much of time Samantha can be on the phone. Samantha can be at workshops, and this system really transformed my business. So as much as I still do, the little workshops that are generally anywhere between $30 and $40 a ticket to come for 2 or 3 hours, I still do that. I still do the one-on-ones where people can sit with me in my office in Narre Warren, or now I see people in St Kilda as well. I still do that as well, but obviously my higher end package is where I have either at any given time there might be 5, there might be 15. It's sort of capped at 15 on a higher end profit margin where I have committed a lot more time to actually being the brains in their business. So it's not like they just sit with me for 3 hours. I work with them in their business through a 3-month, a 6-month period where I see them face to face. And that having that system built into my business transformed my business, and that's what I'm about to reveal to you in this 10K system. Okay, so as I said, it was not that I just woke up and went, cool, I'm going to do this. I've tested it, I've measured it, and I've given you the stats, and that's why I want you to really think about the high-end program that I mentioned to you on this particular slide before I roll over. Okay, so really thinking about your high-end program, and let's get into it. The 10K system. Okay, now I want you to first think about, I mentioned this to you before, if you had a $500 package, you could make $10,000 in 4 months, and the formula works this way. So the first month you're looking for you're probably looking for more than 5 leads, but you're looking for 5 sales. Okay. Now, remember how I told you need to have clients on a retainer. So you're looking for 5 sales at $500. That is going to generate you $2,000, $2,500 in sales. We're not talking profits here, we're talking sales. Okay, so you need to work out your maths and your numbers and all that later. But for now, I want you to look at the formula and really pay attention. So first month, I make 5 sales, and if your package is $500, that's $2,500. The second month, you make 5 sales again, but you have these for month one, the 5 clients still paying you. So you've got another $2,500 coming in plus the new $2,500. So you've made $5,000. Okay. The third month, you've got 5 new sales again that you need to add on. And you've got 10 now because you've got month one and month two. And now that means that's generating you $7,500. Okay? Do you get how this is going? And in month four, you are making $10,000 because you've got 5 new and the other ones that have paid you, the 15 others. So the formula works really well, provided you are going to build a client retainer system with a package added on. Okay, so as I said, this is in your head, you're probably going, oh my gosh, that is so easy. Yes, it is. But one, you need to be a good salesman, a saleswoman. Okay, you need to be good at sales to convert 5 sales. 2, you need to make sure that your high-end program or package has value in it. Okay, so when I first started, again, being upfront and honest, when I first started my package, as I said, that's why it had to be, I share this only now and not 2 years ago, because when I first started, my package was only $250. Okay, so people that came on board were signing up for $250 a month to be with me, and they were with me for 6 months. Okay, obviously over time, my experience, I've got a lot more knowledge. I've been able to give a lot more value, and now when I tell them my price point where they're with me for either 3 or 6 months, they go, okay, cool, we can see how that would work because your brains are working in our business. So obviously the price point has changed, but when it started at $250. So if you are thinking, okay, I don't know whether I can quite go with 500 just yet, then start at 250 and maybe have your goal that you're going to do 250 for 6 months, and then in the new financial year, you're going to put the prices up to $500. Okay, but the whole point is it needs to have a retainer. In this system, it needs to be a retainer, and you need to be making consistent sales every single month. So you can't go, oh, cool, I've nailed it. Well, I've got $2,500 coming in every single month. Cool, I'll just rock and roll for 6 months. I don't need to do the hard work for the next 5 months. No, no, no. If you let it go, you're not going to have consistent income, and then the system's not going to work. So it needs to be happening consistently. Okay, so that is essentially story behind it, the 10K system. You've seen it there. If you want to, quickly write it down, but otherwise, as I said, you will have this in your inbox later this afternoon. So again, I've mentioned that it needs to have a minimum 3 months and a maximum of 12 months on this system. Asking people to commit for more than 12 months can be really hard unless it is going to be something like $250 for 18 months. Me personally, I can't tell you it would work because I have not tested it myself. I know that for my clients, if they are with me for 6 months consistently and they do the work and I'm working with them in their business, they will get the results that they want. So I don't really sell a 12-month program. I did at one stage, but it took a lot of time and effort from me, and I don't do 12 months anymore. I personally do 3 months and 6 months only on my high end. And as I said, I have a cap of how many people at any given time I will have. So anything, I don't have more than 15 clients on that because then I couldn't service them. So it's capped at 15 clients on the high end, and then I've got all my little events and all those other little things happening on the side. But essentially working out what is your price point, and are you going to do it for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months? I don't know whether 9 months work. Maybe if you're servicing a unique group, maybe 9 months, but generally it's a 3, 6, and 12-month system. Okay, now with the package, because we are coming to the end, I want to make sure that I respect each and every one of your time. With the package, it must contain high value and support. You cannot sell a program or a system for $250 or $500, or I don't know what other price points you're thinking, if it doesn't have support and high value. Just giving them 5 videos and you know, 5 videos and then a little workbook is not going to cut it, or just some email. There needs to be some sort of human contact with you. It could be through video, that's fine, but then there needs to be some sort of emails that are coming where from you every week supporting that video, but also where they know that they can contact you throughout the month, and that's inbuilt to the program. Okay, so that being said, I hope you've got a lot of ahas going through your head and you're going, okay, I think I've got this. Because as I said, if you can actually nail this system, whether it's on a 250 package, 500,000 or a $2,000 package, or anything beyond, depending on where you're at with your consultancy business, you will see that your business will transform. It really will. I have been there, done that. It works. You just need commitment and your attitude. Your attitude and a bit of hard work will determine the outcome in 3 to 6 months. Okay? That being said, let's work together. If you found this webinar interesting and you went, oh yeah, I could see how this would work, I've just given you a quick offer, nothing over the top, a 20-minute call where I will get on the phone with you. And also I'm running, it is very much a private event. I will not be actually running any social media ads for this particular one. This is unique to this webinar where I'm actually looking for 3 or 4 people, nothing more than 5. So I'm capping it at 5, where we will get together in St Kilda on the 9th of March from 6:30 to 9 p.m. We'll sit together, there'll be some light food, and we will actually map out your entire 10K system. So that's why I want it to be either 3 or 4 with a maximum of 5. That way we can be open and honest with each other. We can chat about it and really structure it in about 2.5 hours. This doesn't take too long to structure this. Yeah, so you have that option of coming along to this particular workshop. This particular workshop, I will obviously, if you're on my email list, you will see me promoting it there. But apart from that, you will not see it anywhere on Facebook. So on the 8th of March, 6:30 to 9 p.m. in St Kilda, and what I'm doing is it's $59. Okay, so for that time, you get the call with me, either before or after, you choose, and you come along to this event for $59, and I will actually sit with you and map it out. Okay, that being said, that's pretty much it. So that's your opportunity. I will put the PayPal link, so if you are interested in coming along to this on the 8th of March and doing the call with me, I will put a link for the $59 in the chat box now, and you need to click on it and purchase it at the latest by tomorrow, because obviously I want to make sure that you know, I give priority first to 3 or 4 of you that's on this call, and then consider whether I'm going to run another segment or not. That being said, that's pretty much the end of this. I hope you found a lot of value on this webinar, a lot of ahas, and I'm open for all your questions now. Shoot them my way, put them in the chat box, and I will get on to answering your calls. If you are about to leave the webinar, thank you so much for being on this. I really appreciate your time and really interacting, and I will take those questions now. Okay, so what sort of questions do you have? Put them on there and I will get on to answering them. In the meantime, let me just quickly give you the PayPal link. Okay, just so the $59 link is here. Let me, what questions are coming up? Okay, so let me see. Okay, so let me go. Okay, so there you go. I'll put the PayPal link on there. If you want to click on that, that's there. So the questions, okay. The questions that are coming through. Okay, so Michelle wants to know, okay, so it seems like she's got a service-based business, but she doesn't feel comfortable with the 3 or 6 month. Okay, now if you don't want to do a 3 and 6 month, then I suggest you need to look at a way that you could maybe bring the price down would you consider giving them online support just only so that you have a client retainer? Okay. Yeah. All right. So it seems like, okay, so what she's saying is she doesn't want to really have them for that long because it takes too much of her time. I'm not sure what else she's got on her plate at this stage. But if you don't want to do it for 3 or 6 months, that's fine. You just need to find another way where you can then have them paying you for 3 or 6 months, where you're maybe giving them access to a Facebook closed group, so where they can chat to you through Facebook. Maybe that could work, like a membership-based site. You're sending them weekly emails, so where you can automate through either MailChimp, Get Response, that sort of thing. And then maybe you have pre-recorded videos. So all this you could do once a month, and then you can automate it on a weekly basis. Would this be something you would consider? Okay. Yeah, so she goes, yeah, okay, she's happy to consider something like this. Now, obviously, with this, you can't, depending on what your credibility is and how you're positioned online and offline, obviously you can't, I mean, I can't say obviously, but I suppose it really doesn't mean that you have to say, okay, well, I need to sell it for $97 or $250. It really determines of what you're expecting to get out of it and how much value they are going to receive. Because sometimes we get caught up as business owners going, well, I think I'm worth X amount of dollars, but the consumer doesn't see that. So you really need to pay attention to that one. Okay. Another question. Okay. So John, what do you do, John? Oh, okay, so John just wants to know about packaging products. Okay, so I'm guessing he might be in the retail space. If you are in the retail space and you're actually selling a product and you want to increase your turnover monthly, it's all about packaging. So I'm not sure exactly what you sell, but what I would suggest to you is finding a way, either way you could add 3 to 5 to 7 items in one package. So I suppose thinking a bit like a hamper, putting it all together. That way you're making one sale, but you've got multiple um, items being sold, and the profit margins, are a lot higher through this way because it's only one set of hard work for all these items being dispatched. And if you want to do a unique difference, maybe it could be where there's a delivery service involved. And that way you can put a little bit more leverage on them because it's coming to their door. So thinking a little bit of like a light and easy, or that sort of model. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but that could be something for you to think about. And when you're doing that, if you are selling something that people are going to be using every single month, then you need to get them to sign up to a 6 month or a 12 month direct debit system where you're actually in control of it. Okay. What else? Any other questions? Okay. Yep. So we've got a coach. Or yep. Okay, so a mindset coach. So she just wants to know how her charging would be. As I said, it really depends on your credibility in the industry and how much you want to charge. A good point, if you're going to give them a lot of support monthly with emails and that sort of thing, you could start with a $250 package and then work your way up to 500, 750 a month. It really depends. There are people out there that, yeah, probably charge well over $2,500 per month. So it really depends. Finding that, as they say, the sweet spot to what your clients would pay. Because, sorry, I'm just looking at the questions. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, yeah, that's a good one. So she wants to know if they were on the program and at any stage they want to leave. I'm one of those people that I think if you're on a program with me and down the track you want to leave because you don't feel like um, it's working for you for whatever reason, you just need to give me 30 days notice and you can leave. That's my policy. I know with my coach he had the same thing. It was 30 days and no questions asked, meaning like he asked me if he would ask you what why and whatever it is, just for feedback. But I don't think there needs to be necessarily an exit fee. It really depends. Again, people who want to charge an exit fee generally have a lot of credibility to back themselves up because obviously it's a slightly different model, so it works a little bit differently. Okay. I'm just going through. Sorry, just bear with me. Just trying to read Yeah. Yeah, so definitely. So it would be where you get them for $250 per month. They're with you for 6 months. But the key here, what I don't want any of you to forget, is that you, in month one, if you have 5 people jumping on board to your 250 package, that does not mean that you stop the second month. You still need to find those another 5 people to sign up, because otherwise in 6 months, when they all finish, you've got nobody with you, so it doesn't work. So the system is that you have to be looking for 5 new leads. And the reason I tell people five is a good number to start with, because generally in the month you'll have 4 or 5 weeks. So it is a good amount to start off with, and depending on how good you are at selling, you'll be able to convert more. So for me, ideally, 15 is my max. But then even if I had 4 or 5 people in that month, it still works because of the price point. And obviously I've got other things that are generating me income through my speaking gigs and workshops. So I don't rely just on my high end clients. It's a combination of everything that makes up my income. But with the 10K formula, what I wanted each and every one of you to understand was that it was around this model. The 5 sales every single month keep adding up, and you keep that cycle going. You don't stop. Okay. I think that is pretty much it. There's no more questions. Oh, Jennifer said, Jennifer goes, well, you answered everything that I could have possibly thought of. So, oh, thanks, Jennifer. Okay, so that being said, we will wrap up this call. Thank you again for being on the call live. I really appreciate having each and every one of you on this call live. I hope it was a lot of fun, and you sort of really thought about it in a big scale of in a bigger scale for your business, because that's what we all want to really think about, when we start planning and structuring our business. So get on to planning that. And as I said, if you did want to come along to the 8th of March in St Kilda, the private event, where it's, I'm capping it at 5 people, where we will do the 10K plan for you live in the room. So obviously I'll go through some in detail content, and then we'll do a bit of writing, and you'll get a little handout. It's not so much a workbook. It's a small handout. I think it's 4 pages last time I did it. 4 or 5 pages, a little handout that you'll work through. You've got the link there. Book that there straight away before it goes out to my community. One lucky last question. Yes. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Yep. So I've got a question here asking me whether I would do this session if you can't make the 8th of March. So you can't, okay, so if you can't do the 8th of March, whether I would do this as a one-on-one session. Yes, I did think of that, because obviously I've got all the, no, I don't have all the answers. But if you wanted to do this one-on-one with me and you couldn't do the 8th of March, that's fine. I'm happy to sit with you privately for an hour. An hour is all we'll need to map it out, because obviously I'm not going to go into that intricate content, because obviously I'm looking at your business. If you want to do that, we can do that over that week, which is the 8th, 9th of March. I have some openings there. If you want to do it with me one-on-one, it's $79 for an hour, but you have to come to Mary Warren, where my office is. Okay, so if you want to do that, let me give you the link. I'll give you the link here for those of you that are interested. So if you want to do it one-on-one and you can't come to the 8th of March, all you have to do is, just click on the link. Did that even go through? Oh, yeah, it did. There's the link. It's $79, and I will sit with you for an hour, and we'll map out your 10K system. Okay, that being said, thank you so much for being on the call. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye for now.